Everybody ought to come out and look at this kind of stuff because you will be impressed. It's your tax dollars going to work.
The tax dollars at work. That was the theme of a first ever disaster expo today at Ford Arena. First responders and emergency relief groups got to show off some of their equipment and educate people on how to stay ready for a disaster. Everything from medical, rescue, flood prevention, and weather. More than 60 booths set up to give out a wealth of information. And of course, we stay hopeful that disasters don't come. But Jefferson County Judge Jeff Brannick says it's good to stay prepared.
In the event that they do come, we want people to have the resources necessary to weather these storms, to be resilient, and to understand how all the various federal and state agencies work together to assist units of local government and the people that are living there before, during, and after storms.
Judge Brannick says the plan is to make this a biannual event that will be held again in 2024. And it's a big weekend for disaster relief. From today until Monday, emergency supplies are selling tax-free. With hurricane season just around the corner, you can save money on things like generators, hurricane shutters, and batteries. And you don't even have to go to the store. You can do all of this online and still get those savings. For more information on what's on sale, you can check out a list of items on our website, 12newsnow.com. And also taking place in Beaumont this afternoon, a motorcycle memorial event at Cowboy Harley-Davidson. It was a motorcycle awareness rally hosted by the family and friends of Corey Sennett Sr. He died in 2021 in a crash along College Street. The event was dedicated to Sennett and was also meant to spread the word on drivers sharing the road. We spoke to a rider yesterday ahead of the event, and he offered an important reminder.
If the motorist would have looked twice, Corey would still be alive. Yes. And that's the message to take away. He's got 4 babies, going to grow up without a father. So.
In the month of May marks Motorcycle Awareness Month, so today was a good opportunity to get an early jump on awareness. Again, that motto, look twice, save a life. Alrighty, going to turn things over now to a look at your storm tracker forecast, seeing things on our Roofing 911 Skycam over Orange. Some traffic flowing out there tonight. Storm tracker Cristiano Ramos in the Storm Tracker Center, and it was a really great start to the weekend. Cristiano, looks like maybe things might heat up a little bit as we go into tomorrow.
Yeah, it was warm today. We got into the low 80s. We will be reaching the mid 80s by tomorrow, so flirting with the 90s. We're waiting on our next cold front headed into this week. We'll talk more about that a little later on. Temperatures have fallen into the low and mid 70s, about 77 degrees right now in Orange, 72 up toward to Jasper, 74 in Kirbyville. AC weather for sure. Definitely real muggy out there. Low 70s for those dew points, so humidity percentages are close to 100% right now. Clouds are starting to increase over the area with that southerly flow, but we are seeing dry conditions overall. Winds have calmed down a bit. They were gusting close to about 30 miles per hour here in the Triangle. Now they're sustaining about 13 miles per hour right now in Port Arthur. Those temps are going to fall into the low 70s and stay there through tomorrow morning. And then by tomorrow afternoon, like I said, those temps are going to be heating up into the mid and upper 80s. We'll talk more about Sunday's forecast and some of that rain that's going to return back to southeast Texas coming up in just a few minutes.
A crime alert tonight. We're getting a look at a murder suspect charged for his involvement in a shooting on Main Street in Lumberton. 20-year-old Terry Antonio Johnson sits in the Jefferson County Jail with $200,000 bond. He was arrested Friday by Beaumont police, charged with felony murder. The incident took place on Friday, April 15th. 4 people were riding in a pickup truck on Main Street when a backseat passenger shot and killed the driver. That driver was identified as Raul Rebollar. And another mugshot to look at tonight. Dariante Everfield was arrested in Houston. He was wanted in connection of the killing of 19-year-old Alfonso Solomon. Solomon was killed at McDonald's in Groves on April 14th, and Everfield is being held on $500,000 bond. Police are also searching for another suspect involved with this incident, but they have not released an identity of that second suspect. And it's been a busy week for cops cracking down on game rooms in southeast Texas. A raid at the Gateway Travel Plaza in Rose City found more than just illegal gambling. Orange County officials say the property was being used for human trafficking and drug deals. Detectives say they seized cash, video recordings, and documents. Several people were cited on the spot for illegal gambling. And in a twist, they also found 2 fugitives wanted out of Louisiana. They were found living upstairs, Alan Frank and Edith Mercer. According to investigators, more charges could be on the way. And that wasn't the only game room crackdown taking place this week. Deputies made a surprise appearance at the Sunoco game room on Highway 12 in Mauriceville. They found at least 5 violations while searching for a wanted fugitive, and that game room was also shut down after the search. And from one crime trend to another, catalytic converter thefts continue here in Southeast Texas, this time taking place at a high school. Nederland police are investigating after 2 students had converters swiped while they were inside for class. The school district says it's increasing its security.
In response to this burglarization, we have put on extra details with the city of Nederland for the police to patrol around our facilities.
Police are still trying to determine how many suspects were involved in that incident and if the thieves might even be students. New developments tonight in the case of Melissa Lucio. The South Texas mother of 11 is on death row after she was convicted of killing her youngest daughter in 2007. Lucio is scheduled to be executed in the Texas death chamber next Wednesday. That's unless Governor Abbott or the Cameron County prosecutor intervenes. Today, people in 14 cities, including San Antonio, Houston, and Austin, held rallies in support of Lucio. Governor Abbott can't act unless the parole board recommends it, and that decision is expected to come on Monday. Meanwhile, a search continues tonight for a Texas Army National Guard soldier. The soldier was assigned to Operation Lone Star and went missing on Friday in Eagle Pass. The Texas Rangers are leading search efforts, and the Texas Military Department said the service member selflessly attempted to help 2 migrants who appeared to be drowning as they illegally crossed the river from Mexico to the United States. And new tonight, a look at the shocking number of deadly crashes in 2021. Marcelo Benito from KHOU in Houston has the story.
The numbers are startling. 4,486 Texans gone in a single year, all killed while on the road.
That's insane numbers.
But for Nathan Bryant, what happened on Texas highways, more than just numbers.
He was ripped away from us. How do you replace that?
His friend, fellow tow truck driver Isaac Simmons, killed last May while assisting someone on the side of the road. He says it didn't have to happen.
You see flashing lights, they're there for a reason. It's not for show. It's not to make us look cool. It's there to protect our lives and the lives that are broke down on the side of the road.
2021 was the second deadliest year ever and the most deadly since 1981. These images only a small sample of what drivers faced across the state. The pandemic, experts say, only made things worse.
People were engaging in behaviors that were riskier. And even though the risk was small for any individual, it had disastrous consequences for a significant number of people.
TxDOT says the factors that led to the sharpest increase in deaths were work zones, cyclists, and folks not wearing a seatbelt. It's that last one that's most concerning.
We cannot control the decisions drivers make when behind the wheel.
TxDOT plans to use accident data to improve areas where drivers are more prone to crash. That includes new roadway design features and improvements. But that, they say, won't solve the problem on its own.
We really need the public to join us in this, and that's the plea that I think you're going to hear this year so that we don't end up this time next year looking at numbers like we're looking at today.